Barbarian.
Texas. This one's for you.
This one's for you, he says. Go Texas. Steve Dane out of Killeen, Texas. He has won 4 events in a row, Army, trying to make it an unprecedented 5th in a row tonight. And he takes on the Barbarian, who returns as a fast loser.
Richard, it's kind of interesting. In the first year of the national tour, the Renegade Tour, these fellas are starting to develop so much of a crowd following, and Awesome Kong, believe me, has got to be right up there at the top. Everybody's starting to like this kid out of Texas, not because he wins. That's involved in it, but he's just a good kid. But
Army,
right now,
he's dead at the line. Awesome Kong is out of it. The Barbarian is going to win. What bad luck for Steve Dane and Awesome Kong, Army.
Richard, the automatic transmission that took him 4 straight wins gave away in the Hoosier Dome.
So the winning streak of Steve the Great Dane has ended in Indianapolis. And Army, I understand he's not the only one with problems. You found something out on the USA 1 machine.
Well, Richard, just a moment ago we were talking to Rod LITZAU. He said everything's going perfect with the USA 1 Chevrolet. Got in the truck, he went back to the starting line. We noticed the transfer case on the vehicle must be broken. Somebody needs to let him know. Things are not quite as good in the USA 1 camp as they think they are. Back to you.
Oh, we're ready to continue quarterfinal round competition. It's going to be no problem. The Ford Bronco of John Moore taking on Jim KRAMER and Bigfoot. And Army, I understand that these two guys are working together to put new trucks together for 1989.
Now, Jim KRAMER is doing a lot of research and development. John Moore, as you said, he's kind of the old pro of the tour. Kind of the low buck guy on the tour. He's teamed up with Bigfoot. They're going to try to put Fords in that winner's circle next year.
Well, of course, KRAMER, when you think monster truck and Bigfoot, you think of KRAMER. It looks like an easy win for him.
Yeah, but John Moore, if you'll remember, Richard, the last couple of weeks has really started leaning on his equipment. I look for a Super 89 out of that young man out of Tennessee.
John Moore, 44 years old. Jim KRAMER, 37. 2 veterans on this Renegade's TNT monster truck circuit. Watch for both of them to be back in later competition. Meanwhile, Dave Lysort, the kid out of Nebraska that's making a name for himself, taking on another veteran as Wild Hare and one half of the Breen Brothers operation comes back to the line.
Bobby Breen will be working a left track. The engine located behind the driver. A unique part of that truck. It's an experimental truck. Meanwhile, Nightlife, relying on horsepower, working the right side of the track, comes onto the circuit and puts Bream away, but what a ride.
Problems. Mike Witt, Stomper 1, Rod LITZAU, USA 1.
Witt with a Stomper, had some fueling problems a little bit earlier. They'll be keeping an eye on that. They're off and running. LITZAU, no problem, he says, with the oil leak we found. LITZAU goes out for the win, but
Stomper has blown it, Army.
Completely lost an engine, about a $20,000 pop for Michael Buckwheat Witt in that Stomper Chevrolet.
Buckwheat.
His nickname, they've called him that for years.
Okay. Well, the bad luck continues for Mike Witt as he is out of the competition in Indianapolis. Meanwhile, Rod LITZAU looked like he had no problems whatsoever with the USA 1 machine, and this could bring up an interesting final. That's a possibility. USA 1 goes against Bigfoot. Let's go trackside with Army.
Well, right now, it looks like you and Bigfoot are working your way to get maybe into the final of this thing. Can you put him away tonight?
Well, I'm going to do my best. We're running some faster times. We're getting better used to the track, and he's running that side, and I like my side. It's going to be a good race.
Well, Army, we're going to take a look at a replay of that run by Stomper 1, Mike Witt, and Rod LITZAU with USA 1. And I'll tell you what, when you want to talk mechanical problems, call Mr. Witt up on the telephone. I think everything has happened to him over the last few months.
What it is, Mike Witt and Gail Medford with a Stomper Chevrolet, they're experimenting with a new transmission, if you will. It's a dragster style. You have to really RPM the engine, and the engine just went away. They took it too high on the RPM and let go. They've learned something. They're going to come back. I still believe in these guys. Now, Chevrolet.